What's going on, YouTubers? Hope you enjoyed that introduction as I go for this topic to continue on more of exposing Bruce Blitz. This will be part 2. By the way, I am the natural born thriller. So let's get started. I'm not going to recap, for the last 2 videos I did about Bruce Blitz. I just want to go right into, exposing more about Bruce Blitz, about, what type of Bruce Blitz is. The truth, the true Bruce Blitz, and basically showing the true, his true colors of what he's really all about. James Connors, who commented on my video about Bruce Blitz, about the video I did, I'm done with Bruce Blitz. He said, and I quote, he blocked me for saying Mitchell Trubisky it's not great, just average. Now I don't know who's this person that James Connors was talking about, but because he said that, Bruce Blitz basically blocked him. I'm assuming he blocked him on Twitter. That's my guess. Because that's what Bruce Blitz does. He'll block a fellow you on Twitter. Yeah, so he is that type of person. Now, and that's basically it about Bruce Blitz. He always blocks people on Twitter. Whenever they say something stupid or the wrong things and everything. He's that type of person, to block them, just for any type of stupid reason, or for good reason. Not saying all of them are stupid reasons, but there are some things that are some good reasons why that Bruce Blitz will block them. So now I'll get back to Eli17 about what he said from the second comment that he made. The first comment they talked about where pertains to he don't think pro wrestling is dead, where pertains to watching Impact Wrestling, and whenever AEW comes up, he'll check it out, but if anything corny happens on that show, like, he'll turn it off and all that, he'll basically turn away from it. But yeah, the second comment here, which is, personal. Well, I'm sure he doesn't mind, reading this, me reading this, basically, and I quote, I have family members that are homosexual, and I absolutely agree with you. Basically, he agrees with me about the whole thing with Bruce Blitz, the way he treated, treating people that are gay, or homosexual, either way, So basically, he agrees with me with the whole thing about what Bruce Blitz did. What Bruce Blitz, Bruce Blitz, excuse me, was wrong about what he did at the time he was at the mall and all that. So, and but I'll recap that a little bit more later on. George commented where pertains to, I'm gonna read 316's comments. Where pertains to having a discussion. He says, and I quote, the difference between you, which is me, and Bruce Blitz is that, unlike Bruce Blitz, you are a man of your words. That's why I take you more seriously than Bruce Blitz. So basically, someone's taking me more seriously than Bruce Blitz where pertains to professional wrestling at this point. And also, if I'm done with something, then I am done with it. And like Bruce Blitz, he'll be, well, the thing is about Bruce Blitz, he is done with Impact Wrestling, he's done with NXT, what pertains to watching on a weekly basis, but he will not he'll only tune into NXT takeover shows and Impact Wrestling pay-per-view shows, not care about any other shows to watch, were released to that type of follow-up. But he watched WWE though. That's the one thing he will not give up on. Watching WWE, that makes him miserable. Where it pertains to watching Raw and SmackDown, especially where it pertains to Monday Night Raw. But yeah, but that was basically that one. So George and Shaw Powers was defending me on my behalf where it pertains to what Milliband's Chronicle said where it pertains to the comment that he left about wrestling sucks now because of nerds like me, basically. Well, based on this t-shirt of The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, I guess I am a nerd. So, but I just want to say that to George and Saul Powers, I appreciate y'all defending me, but yeah, they have to defend me. I could defend myself, but I do appreciate both of your helps and your support. So thank you very much for that one. And the comment that I left from him and all that, where it pertains to what I said to him, from part 1, he still have yet to comment and to reply back, where it pertains to what does my comment have, what is my video, his comment, his comment that he wrote, basically want me to read, from the video I did about Bruce Blitz. about, what's that got to do with me talking about me being done with Bruce Blitz? It had nothing to say. Of course, he doesn't. But yeah, I just want to bring that part up. So from the first video, which was part 1 of me exposing Bruce Blitz, I got some comments, and I want to read them from Big D on YouTube and on Instagram, and also on Twitter. Big D said, my problem with the emasculation and all that is hidden agendas, I believe Blitz was combating that. But if he's taking it further than it needs to be, be taken, then that's another problem. It is a problem. He's taking this way too seriously where it pertains to emasculation going on in professional wrestling. And the rest of that whole hidden agenda that Big D mentioned. Also, a comment that was replied by Shaw Powers to Big D was that there's definitely agendas, and I have a bad feeling AEW is going to be a tool to push the LGBT the propaganda, which I do agree. It's been shown that too, by the way, from the rallies and based on who just the transgender female, well, actually a male, but is a transgender female now, in the women's division. And I think a gay wrestler who's part of the roster. So all they need now is a lesbian and a bisexual, and then but let me continue. He said Bruce takes it way too far, to the point I think he's in the closet. Okay, let's backtrack that one. I doubt Bruce Blitz is in the closet of being gay. Is he in the closet where it pertains to being a WWE fanboy? Yes, because he continues to watch Raw and SmackDown. He continues to watch WWE, but won't watch anything else. He won't watch New Japan. He won't watch Ring of Honor. He won't watch Impact Wrestling anymore. He won't watch NXT anymore, even though it is part of WWE, but still. Not saying that he never does watch those. He did watch those before. I'm not gonna try to say he doesn't ever watch those, like a New Japan, and a Ring of Honor. He has watched those before. It's just not his thing. But I'm just pointing out facts that he'll watch only WWE, but won't watch anything else outside of WWE, and that's a problem. And you can tell he's not interested in watching AEW. Because AEW is going to be, in his opinion, it's going to be like PWG. But let me continue. He tries way too hard to prove how manly and anti-gay he is, which proves he is a complex. Well, again, I don't think that's the case at all, Shaw Powers. But I don't think he is gay, and to me, I think about about him saying those words or pertains to being homosexual and everything, and then you had this one person who's a subscriber. I don't know if that person is still a subscriber to his site anymore, BlitzSportsNetwork.com, but he was offended that Bruce Blitz kept saying that those words were pertains to being homosexual, the G word, the F word, and the well, most likely the F word, basically. He uses that word very oftenly. And it gets to a point where, like, okay, I think he needs to stop saying that word because he's really offending people that are that. But he doesn't care because he's homophobic. Big D comment, a new comment, by the way. He says the difference between the small guys he likes and the ones he doesn't like in the fact that Owen Hart, AJ Styles, Eddie Guerrero all have personality. Basically, he's talking about Bruce Blitz, and he says like while the Garganos and the Rushes of the world really have no personality. I disagree with Leo Rush. He does have personality. John Gargano, somewhat of a personality, where it pertains to him liking, comics Marvel and all that, and it's been showcased too, probably what pertains to him, his ring titles too. Um, but in a way, I can't get what he means though. Big D. But in the world, let me continue. Like while the Garganos and the Rushes of the world really have no personality, I think that falls on the WWE. And which is in main roster, yeah, that's true. And he says NXT, if I remember, correctly, doesn't give them a lot of chances to develop personalities. They do. Some people don't have that personality. Some of them don't. And which, by the way, I did reply back to Big D for that one, but I'll need to read it. Just to let you know that. But yeah, some personalities, some personality. Excuse me, if I get the words out, spit it out. So yeah, personalities. It works for some people, but some personalities just don't work with some people. For example, Aaliyah. They try to give Aaliyah some type of personality on NXT right now, and to me, I see no personality in her whatsoever. Not saying that she's not good, but well, I do say sometimes that she is not that good in the ring, and she's not good what pertains to selling or psychology or whatever. She's okay, but not anything decent, not even anything solid. She's just okay. She's not really moving my meter up or pertains to I like her and all that. I'm pretty sure she's a nice lady too and everything, but I just don't see the talent in her, and I don't see the personality coming out of her anyways. And I feel some other women's on the roster too, like of Vanessa Bourne. I mean, you can see the little personality in her, but she's not really showcasing that much because it just looks awkward the way she does it. But and then you the Velveteen Dream. Yeah, that personality I don't I don't want to get into, but. But yeah, the point is, some personalities works and everything. But my point here about the Ultimate Bruce Blitz, exposing him more, is that his problem with pro wrestling right now is that wrestlers with no personalities, he doesn't like them. He hates them. Despite the fact that they can wrestle, someone can wrestle that has no personality, he hates them. Like a Daniel Bryan, a John Gargano, and he thinks the wrestlers have any personality. Not just Big D, but Bruce Blitz thinks so as well. Finn Balor, no personalities, all those guys, but they can wrestle. But Bruce Blitz doesn't care. He still hates them. So to me, that's being hypocritical of Bruce Blitz. So you like AJ Styles, you like Rey Mysterio Jr., you like Eddie Guerrero, and all of them because they have personality, which I do agree. They do have personalities, but they can also wrestle too. And these other guys that Bruce Blitz claims that these guys have no personality because they're small, vanilla midgets and blah blah blah, and they can wrestle, but he doesn't care. He hates them anyways. To me, that's to me someone being a hypocrite, and Bruce Blitz is a hypocrite for that. This comment is from Carnation 420. He says, and I quote, "I actually got kicked off of his site for no reason in August of 2016. No joke. I really didn't comment on that often, and he always been very nice to me." Talking about this person that commented. Before I had subscribed to his YouTube for 3 years. At a point, 1 year of his site was a huge supporter of his. Really surprised me. He turned into a complete clown. So I say to that, wow. Bruce Blitz is that type of person too, by the way. He'll block you for no reason, or pertains to Twitter, and he'll basically kick you off his site for no reason too. And I'll get to more of that when I get a chance. For someone that got kicked off too. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. This person did do something, but Bruce Blitz took it personally. Basically, that's what I meant to say. But I'll get to eventually. But yeah, that's that is uncalled for there. Bruce Blitz to do that. I feel sorry for Card Nation 424 for being kicked off like that from the site, for no reason. For no reason at all. Bruce Blitz is a prick because of that. George commented by saying that Bruce Blitz is he's just going to say that he's a WWE fanboy classic fan. So, and he said more here too. George said that he said a couple more things than that, but basically what pertains to Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Lucha Underground, whatever have you. But basically, the one I want to talk about here is that Bruce Blitz is a classic WWE fanboy, which he is. He's it's been and that's another thing too, by the way. And thanks for that comment too, George. What pertains to Bruce Blitz, talking about WWE classic fanboys and everything, and the whole John Cena John Cena fan classics. These classic John Cena fans, I meant to say. So yeah, Pop calling the Color Black here, where pertains to Bruce Blitz, saying WWE classic WWE fanboys, and here Bruce Blitz basically is exposing himself of being a classic WWE fanboy for only supporting WWE, for only watching WWE, for only watching Raw and SmackDown, and not watch NXT, Impact anymore, basically, and other companies. So yeah, and on top of that, Bruce Blitz is once again being a hypocrite. And I never thought I would say that about Bruce Blitz, and I never thought that I would call Bruce Blitz a classic WWE fanboy. I'd like to read you more exposure about Bruce Blitz on Twitter from this this person on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. I mean Twitter. Excuse me. But this person on Twitter, not only he saw my video about Bruce Blitz, about me being done with him and everything, but he also on Twitter followed me. So I followed him back, and I want to say thank you. And by the way, his name is Harlan Vengeance. That's his Twitter name. So, and which is at Cola Power for Life. Okay. And I want to say thank you to Harlan excuse me, to Harlan Vengeance for following me on Twitter. And and also let you know if you're watching this video too, that I follow you back. So thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure you realize it too. Notifications stuff. So, but he said to me, and I quote, "Saw your video on Bruce Blitz just now, which was about I believe on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, he said, great shit, man. Glad to see more people have a brain." So I replied to him, basically, and then he replied back, and he says, "Well, let's just say that I happen to have some some juicy dirt on Bruce, and I know others have stories to tell about their experience with him. Oh yeah, I know a lot of them, a few of them, but I think there is a lot of them out there that they can also expose Bruce Blitz, unlike me that I'm doing it right now." Because there's a lot of me to expose about Bruce Blitz. That things that I'm trying to remember, and basically for the last 4 years of being subscribed to BlitzSportsNetwork.com, and there are a lot more to talk about. It's not just me, but there are a lot of voiceless people that know Bruce Blitz on the site that could share more about the true colors of Bruce Blitz. And I want to be the voice of those voiceless, for them to speak out. If they have anything to say about what Bruce Blitz is all about, do so right now. Do a video of it right now, anytime you want, and let anyone on YouTube or whatever of your type of platform to know what Bruce Blitz was always been all about. You people, tell anyone that could be watching the true colors of Bruce Blitz, because I've seen the true colors, and other people that talked to me about it said that they saw his true colors years ago. So once again, shout out to Harlan Vengeance. If you're on Twitter, please follow him. More to expose about Bruce Blitz. So Bruce Blitz at one point did a Raw review, which was about 3 years ago, or it was 4 years ago, basically discussing something about CDs, whatever, music, that, whatever, burning CDs, or music, whatever, stealing, basically stealing music and everything. And then we were taken to a music store, and then he basically went tirade, saying, you stole it and everything. He basically was going he was basically screaming and everything, yelling and all that. He was losing his mind, and like go to a music store, steal a CD while paying for it and all that, and see what happens and all that. And he's like, you get arrested, whatever. I don't remember how that discussion happened during a Raw review, but I'm like, wow, what the hell was that all about, right? And basically that's the one thing about it. Robert Taylor's Bruce Blitz, is that he'll go off on anything, just like that, and like calm down, will you? Like seriously, like what's the big deal? Nothing personally. I don't, I want Bruce Blitz talking about those type of stuff. But if you're taking it too seriously, like, damn. But yeah, there you go for that. That's one of the things that I want to talk to you all about. Also, Kilo J. If you know who Kilo J is, he used to be on BlitzSportsNetwork.com. Also, you can also follow him on Twitter at Kilo J. So Kilo J was doing a Raw review where Bruce Blitz say that Asuka looked like a man at one point. I believe it was during when she was on NXT or something that showcased her looking like a man on Raw that one time. And this was about 2 years ago, to be exact. And basically, Kilo what I'm saying, so you're in, because basically he was joking around, obviously. He was saying you're into Asuka who looks like a man, something like that. It was something to that degree, and they kept staying on that subject for like about 5 to 6 minutes, whatever. And then Bruce Blitz basically had enough of Kilo and kicked him off. And they started on the review, and he put the review back on. Kilo was gone from the Raw review, and he was gone from the site. He basically kicked him out of the site because Bruce Blitz took offense of that, where Kilo J was just joking. It was just him ribbing Bruce Blitz, but you can't rib Bruce Blitz, because if you do that, not only he'll block you from Twitter, but he'll also kick you off of your site, and you'll never, and basically blackball you, just for joking around. Unbelievable. Mark Times used to be doing some reviews before Bruce Blitz, and he has his own YouTube channel, by the way. And Mark Times, he was doing basically it was a Raw review which was about 4 years ago, where Mark Times every time it was a John Cena match, and then Bruce Blitz will talk about how trash John Cena is and all that, and then and then Mark Times will basically be trolling Bruce Blitz during that time, and then Bruce Blitz basically had enough and said, "All right, Mark." And I'm like, really, Bruce? Like, you supposed to, he was just trolling, that, and then Mark Times left. He left because he felt like Bruce Blitz was was being rude, well, actually being disrespected, but being disrespected. But Billy can do that to Bruce Blitz, but Mark Times can't. What's the difference there? MG can't do that, right? Well, I'm sure MG can do it. Yeah, MG can do it, but Mark Times can't either. What's the difference there? Because Bruce Blitz knows Billy and MG more than he does with Mark Times. To me, I thought that was wrong for Bruce Blitz to do that, anyways. It's ridiculous, man. Really ridiculous. Bruce Blitz takes everything way too seriously. Way too seriously. And I don't get how people can live like that by vicariously. I'm gonna recap a little bit here. When he was at a high school or college football, that he talked about at one point where they scored he scored a touchdown, whatever, something like that. I don't know, it was some kind of play they did, where they the whole pat to the ass and all that, like what they do all the time in football and baseball. Bruce Blitz happened with him, and he he went to this dude, and he basically look at who's he's getting ready to pick a fight with Bruce Blitz and all that. I mean, Bruce Blitz, I meant to say, was going to pick a fight with this guy because of that. And then he said, don't do that again, or otherwise you will get it. You know that, right? So, you know, and then with the whole gay couples at the mall, having a good time. Bruce Blitz was at the mall too and all that, and he saw that, and Bruce Blitz got very angry when he saw that, and he yelled the word faggot and walked off, and he heard their reactions, and then he starts laughing because of that, like he was proud of it. Unbelievable, That's another prime example there of him being homophobic. And I mentioned this before, but I just want to recap that again. So there you go. Bruce Blitz from that one Raw review where it pertains to talking about Owen Hart, because they're trying to compare Owen Hart to Adrian Neville, who is Pac. The whole thing with Booker T said that Owen Hart didn't defy gravity and all that because because Neville was the man that gravity forgot. And then Bruce Blitz went off on that one on Booker T and WWE and all that, and basically it was uncomfortable watching too, by the way. And I can understand why, because Bruce Blitz knew Owen Hart personally. He actually knew Owen Hart in real life. Who was a good friend of him. Owen Hart. I heard nothing but positive things about Owen Hart. Being a lovable human being and everything. And I can understand why Bruce Blitz was upset at that one. And he did calm down a little bit for that one, but when he first exploded after he heard that, and he wanted to do that on the review, and to show how angry he was. That felt uncomfortable. It really felt uncomfortable watching. But at the same time, I do understand why Bruce Blitz went off like that, because Owen Hart, he was his friend, and on top of that, Owen Hart, the way he died, from Over the Edge in 1999. I can understand why Bruce Blitz got upset with that, because WWE so monotone for having Booker T saying that Owen Hart didn't defy gravity. But yeah, that was that though. Bruce Blitz doesn't like the Backstreet Boys because they're a all boys band, which means they're all about butt fucking. He felt the same with NSYNC, except for Justin Timberlake. Because Justin Timberlake ends up being a solo artist after that. Not all all boy bands just because they're all boys band doesn't mean they all gonna fuck each other in the ass. It's like saying Nickelback is gonna fuck each other in the ass. It's like saying Metallica, Maroon 5. It's ridiculous, folks. I'm pretty sure he probably thinks the Jackson 5's probably done a lot of butt fucking too, since they're all boy band too, right? Like seriously, Bruce Blitz gets his head out that type of gutter, But what makes me even think about that, anyways? When this goes back to the Backstreet, the Backstreet Boys, what makes him think they're all about butt fucking? Why would he even think that? Elton John. Elton John, one of the greatest entertainers of all time, as an artist. But Bruce Blitz don't care. You want to know why he doesn't care? Because the way he carries himself, what pertains to his lifestyle. Because he's gay. Once again, Bruce Blitz being homophobic. Bruce Blitz has never been a Shawn Michaels fan. The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. He's never been a fan of his, because things you hear about Shawn Michaels, of him being, the way he carried himself and all that during the 90s. Yeah, he's not a fan of Shawn Michaels, because he's, in his words, Bruce Blitz thinks that Shawn Michaels is a faggot and everything, right? But he puts over his in-ring work. But you won't put over the New Day for their in-ring work, because the way they carry themselves on TV. And then you got LeBron James, where it's the weirdest thing with LeBron James, by the way. So he hates LeBron James, but he puts him over from being a hottest act in the NBA. That's the most weirdest thing, the weirdest hatred to LeBron James ever since Kobe Bryant. And to get back on that topic with potential Shawn Michaels, Bruce Blitz calling him a faggot, but he puts over his in-ring work. But he won't pull over Kenny Omega because he's got a faggot face, because he wore the Princess Jasmine costume. But he won't pull over his talent as a great wrestler. Lady Gaga. he thinks that she's ugly and doesn't like her because based on how she does her thing, her stuff, the signs that she shows on her music videos and everything, with her being being a worship, basic worshiping the devil, and all about Illuminati, this whole religion cult, like an House of Black, basically not liking Lady Gaga because of that, and thinks she's not talented and all that. Wow. I mean, that's how that's how Bruce Blitz feels. That I'm assuming he probably thinks that Madonna is more better than Lady Gaga, which probably pertains to Lady Gaga. I mean, not Lady Gaga, when pertains to Madonna. He doesn't like her because well, the things that I heard about, which is true, Madonna having sex with animals. Don't believe me? Look it up, folks. It is true. I read about it, and there's actually videos of it, and I refuse to watch it. But besides that, Madonna, what pertains to her music, makes you really think about what that music is towards to, right? But anyways, what pertains to her music, she's pretty good as an artist. Same thing with Lady Gaga. But Bruce Blitz, don't care. Alright, folks, so I'm going to end it from here. I'll be back more for exposing of Bruce Blitz with part 3. So, if you've seen part 1, and if you haven't seen yet, go check it out. And also, thank you for enjoying part 2 of me exposing Bruce Blitz. So that being said, thank you all for watching. It's Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets.